Hi David. It has been a while, but let me just get to show you some of the few things. Okay. So right now, I thought that we should now look at the in-depth of some formulas, how to be able to work with one formula with another formula. So now we are going to look at the match function and the index function. And these are a couple of the topics which I've prepared for us to be able to cater. And I know we will not be able to cut all of these in this video. I'll create another video. So we'll see where we'll stop. When I see that the video is too long, that's where I'll be able to cut. Okay, so we'll look at the match function basic, the index function basic, then go all the way on how to be able to integrate them. Okay, all right. So now, the first thing that I want us to look at is the basics. I want us to look at the basics of the index function and the basics for the match function. What is the difference between the index function and the match function? So right here, I want us to see how an index returns value and how a match function returns value. I know I've shown you this before, but just for the sake of revision. So now, here I've created a table. These are my columns, these are my rows. So I want to use the index function. What does the index function do? It retains the value. What it does, that an index function retains the value of where the column and the row intersect. So for instance, if the row and the column intersect on this one, it will give us 1. If the row 2 intersects with column 2 here, it will give us 4. So let's have a practical example. So equals index. So the first thing it is asking me is the array. What is the array that I'm going to check out the value from? So my array is this one. This is where the possible values can come from, comma. Now it's asking me to say what is the row number. So on the row number, if I look at, for instance, I want to return 6. If I want to return 6, which means my row number becomes 3. Okay, so this is my row number. So I say 3. Then what is, I put comma. Then what is my column number? My column number becomes 2. So I indicate by 2 there, then close it. Then I press enter. So now the index gives me a return of 6. So this is how the index formula works. Okay. There are many ways in which you can be able to couple this. So for instance, I'm going to use the same formula, but I'll use it in a different way. So for instance, I might have somewhere here, I can have what I can say probably my column, then here I can say my row. Okay, so for instance I can say my column is 2, my row is 3, or let me say 2 or so. Okay, then I can come here and say index equals index. So I'm looking at this array. From this array, I want to return the row number of 2. Now I'm picking from a different cell. So right now I've picked a cell. Then the column number should be that one. I've picked a cell. Then I can close it like that. Then if I enter, it will give me a return. So if you see, row 2, column 2 is a 4. And the thing is this, I can still change this one to probably 1, and it will be able to pick it. So if I go to row 1, column 2, the answer is 1. If I change here, for instance, I put 65, it will still be able to pick. Okay? Alright? So that is on the index. Those are the basics on the index. So I remove that part. Then I go into the match. So when you're dealing with a match function, with a match, it gives you the relative position of a particular value in the array. Okay. So for instance, I want to match a particular number. So for instance, I've got 3 there. This is 3 there. Then I say equals. Then I say match. So what do I want to match? It's the lookup value that I want to look up. So I want to look up this value there. Then I say comma. What is the array in which I want to look it up? So my array is that one. Okay. Then I'm asked, is it supposed to be the exact match or a less than? I'll show you how to use a less than and a greater than. For right now, it is an exact match. Then I close. Okay. Then I press enter. Okay. The array part. This one I have to use 1 row or 1 column. So for instance, that is in here, so I use this one. Okay, then I press enter, so it gives me 3. Okay, that's how you use the match. It's different from the index. The index, I can select the whole box, but for this one I have to select 1. Okay, so this is how you use the match function. Okay, so if I change here and put 4, the relative position will change. It will give me this 4. Okay, let's say here I put 6. Okay, then I come here, I change this one to say I'm looking for 6. It will give me the relative position to be 6. Hope you can be able to see this. Okay, so the relative position becomes 3. This is the relative position. Because why is it 3? It is 1, 2, 3. That's the relative position. And these ones, they're just numbers which I've just put randomly. I can change them. Okay, so this is how the index and the match function works. Now let us look on how we can be able now to start to work combining these formulas. Okay, so if I come to our first lesson, which I meant for today, we're going to look at how to match exactly. I think I did this before with you. So I want to find the position, or I want to find the relative position for Joe. Okay, so if I want to find the relative position for Joe using the match function, I'll come here, then I'll say equals, then I say match. So what I'm matching is this lookup value Joe, comma, where am I picking from? The array. This is the array, comma, is it supposed to be exact, or this one we're dealing with is exact? I say 0, then I close, then I press enter. So you will see now that the relative position of Joe, GO, is 2 here. If I count 1, 2, okay, that's the relative position. Now, for instance, Tom, there are duplicates for Tom. There is there and there. So which one will it pick first? So I'll come here and say equals match, lookup value is that one, comma, our array is that one, comma, exact match, then we close, press enter. So it gives us this position, which is 3. But this one, it's not that it has, what it has done is that when it runs through, immediately it finds what is similar, it picks it. It doesn't go further to look for another one. So it gives us that one. But in some advanced match array formulas, I'll be able to show you how it can be able to pick both of them. Okay. Now for this one that is not listed in the array, it it will give you, of course, the not available sign. So we say equals match. I'm matching Sue, then comma, my array is this one, comma, I want it to be exact, then I close. Okay, so it's telling me none applicable, it's not there. Alright, then not only can it just do a vertical, but it can also do a horizontal. Okay, I remember I did this, but for the sake that we catch up, we do a good transition, I had to do this one. Equals my lookup value, or first of all match, my lookup value is the same job like at first, comma, array. Now our array is in an horizontal form, then we say comma, we want it to be exact, then we close and we press enter. Our relative position is 2, so it's 1, 2. Okay, this was for the exact match. Now let's look at with an approximate match in an ascending order. All right, so we'll come here, we want to do an approximate match in a in ascending order. So when you're dealing with an approximate match, remember what we're looking at. The exact match, you have to press 0. Approximate match in ascending order, you 1. So right now what we're dealing with is, when do you use an approximate match? With 1. Okay, so now we want to find the relative position for 150 in this array. So if you check out this array, there is $0, $100, then you've got $500. So which means our 150 is found in between 100 and 500. So what should it return? So what we are saying is that we want to find the approximate match. When it comes here and finds that the next number is bigger than this one, it should return to the previous number. Okay, so right now what we're saying that this x should be less than or equal to 100. This is what we're saying, that 150 should be equal to or less than 150, or rather, let me say the x must be less than or equal to, and should be less than or equal to, should be greater than, greater than or equal to 100, and should be less than 500. Okay, all right. So now when I come to our match function, I'll say equals match. So I'm matching, what am I matching? I'm matching this one in what array? In that array, comma. Now our position should be less than, okay, which is 1. When we're done with that, you close, then you press enter. So you see our relative position becomes 100, because when it comes, checks there, finds that okay, this one is smaller, this one is too smaller. When it comes here, it finds this one is bigger, it comes back to that one. Okay, obeying this law. Okay, all right. So we have done this one, which is 150, 150, and it's below 500. What about if it is 100? So what I'll do is that I'll copy the same formula by dragging. Okay, this is 100. Just a moment. Okay, I didn't lock it in. Okay, yeah, I was supposed to lock this one. So have you seen that this array has come here? Okay, so in order for me to avoid such, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I remove that, I come back here. Have you seen where this one is representing the array? This one is representing that. So I need to lock this one such that when I drag the formula, it always maintains this position. Okay. So what I'll do is this. I'll delete this, delete, then I'll copy the formula again, the range. Then after doing that, I press F4 on my keyboard. Then you see dollar signs before each of the letter and numbers. Okay, so like that it has been locked in. Okay, still gives me that 2. So now I can be able to drag. Okay, alright, it gives me the relative position to be 2 here, because this is, I'm finding an exact value of this one. So if it comes here, it obeys this one. It should be equal to or greater than this one. So it gives me that one. Okay, alright, hope you're following. If I'm to, I think let me explain again on this part, on the how to lock. So for instance, look at this. This is B25. B25 is this one. When I come here, it gives me B25. If I wanted just to be locked on B25, I put a dollar sign in front of B, and I put another dollar sign in front of 25. What this does, it makes sure that this does not move. Even if I drag a formula, it will always make reference to this one. Okay? So, but if I to drag this formula this side, if it maintains this one, it will always retain me for this side, of which it will give me an error. But what I want is that the array should be the same. Which one is the array? This one here. My array is this one, which is this one. So these numbers is where it will be picking from. So this one must not be changed. That's why I put dollar signs in front of every letter and number. Okay? So that when it is returning here, it is I messed up the formula a little bit. Okay, let me remove that. Okay, yeah. When it is returning this part, it should not move. Okay? Alright. If you have any question, just ask me to know. Alright. So now let's just look at in a situation whereby the number is actually smaller than all those which are in the array. Okay? What happens? Because we're looking at negative $400. And here we know that 0 is greater than this one. So what happens? So when it comes here, so it will be equals, then we say match. Our lookup value is negative 400, comma. Our array is this one, comma. We want to be less than or equal to, we should put less than or equal to, then we press enter. It tells you none applicable because it is not there. If it comes here, before it even starts, there is no number there. So since it's bigger, so wherever it's starting from, when it comes here, it finds this one, then it returns and says, oh, okay, there's no any other number. So it becomes non-applicable. Okay? Now you've got a number which is greater. For instance, you have got 20,000 and the highest number on the array is 10,000. What happens? Okay? So here we come and say equals match match. What is our lookup value? That's our lookup value. Then we have our array. Okay. Then comma, we put 1 for our relative position, the less than, then we close, press enter. So here it gives us a position of 7, of which it is 10,000. If you count from there up to here, this one gives you 7. Why? Because when it came, this was the last number in the array. So it saw that there is no any other number. It comes back to this one. Okay? Alright. It will make sense as we go on, if it's not yet making sense. Okay? Then you've got 50 there. I want to look at it on horizontal on an horizontal array. So how do I do that? We say equals match, we go, then our lookup value is 50, comma, our array, okay, comma, it has to be less than, we close, enter. We see that 50 is not greater than 500,000, so it comes here, it's greater than 0 but less than 1000. So when it comes here, it bumps back to this one. That's why it gives you a relative position of 1. Alright, so this is the match with a less than, okay. And the only thing that when you're dealing with this one, with the less than, you have to make sure that your data is sorted in ascending order, okay. It has to be in ascending order, small, great, greater, and greater, just like that, okay. Now when you're dealing with the one which is negative and is sorted in descending order, this is how it works, okay. So if I want to return the relative position of 1500, okay, if I come here, if I'm searching using the match, it comes to 10,000, which finds that this one is greater. 5,000, this one is greater. 2,000, this one is greater. 1,000, this one is less. So it checks that this one is greater and this one is less, so it falls back to this one. The one which it found to be less, this one is greater, so it doesn't pick it up. So it just does a bit of an opposite, okay. So we say match our lookup value, comma, our lookup array. So I choose the array, then I press F4 to lock in our position, okay, comma, what did you want? Greater than, okay. So we go with the -1, then we close, enter. So, this one is greater than, so it's 1, 2, 3, okay. So the greatest value before this one is 2500, so our relative position is 3, okay. Alright, so I drag this to duplicate this. Alright, so for 2500, we come here, we look, okay, this is an exact one, so no problem, it gets that one, okay. Alright, so for this one, 20,000, this is before the 10,000, so when it comes, literally, since it's because it is great, the 20,000 is greater than this one is less, it won't pick that one, okay. If I drag this one to the -10, is down below here, so the greater than -10 is that one, which is 7, okay. Try out the horizontal one just using the same formula, okay. So the answers are there. I've done all the answers, you'll be able to check them out, okay. So we go to the second one. When we go to the second one, in this one we want to combine. The first thing that we want us to do is this. We'll use the match function to return the position of part 5 and the position of quantity 1, okay. So what we'll do is that, what is the row for 5 and what is the column for 1, okay. Then from there we should be able to determine what is the discount which should be given. So for instance, if someone gets part 1, and this is the quantity which they get. Alright, they get this probably part 1, and the quantity which they get is 5. Their discount is 15%. If they get 25 and it's part 2, their discount is 18%. Okay, so we want to be able to know all this just by using the index formula and the match formula. Okay, so if I come here, I'm using the match. The match formula will be able to allow me to know the row position and the column position. So match equals match. So what which value am I looking up? That is part 5, comma. What is my array? This is my array. See, I'm not including the title, comma. What should be the match be? An exact match or an approximate? We'll post 0 there for an exact match and press enter. So you see that the position is position 5 in the row. So what about 1? What is the position? So the position will be equals match. This is our lookup value, comma. Our lookup array is that one, comma. Then is it supposed to be an exact match? So for instance, in this direction, you see that you've got 1, 5, 25, and 100. So anyone who gets below 5, for instance, they get 4. This person, we cannot give them that for 5, a discount for 5. So if they get 4, it has to fall back to 1. If they get probably 15, it has to fall back to 5. If they get something like 30 or 50, it has to fall back to 25. Okay, so which one do we use? So we use the one for ascending order, because this one are in ascending order. All right, which is 1. Okay, then we press enter, then we go. So the position for 1 is 1. If I was to put 2 here, it will still maintain 1. Okay, all right. But if I were to put 5 in there, it will give me position 2. Now this changing which you are seeing here, this is conditional formatting I'm using. Okay, a bit of an advanced conditional formatting, but I'll do a video for you on conditional formatting. Okay, all right. So this, now we're able to know the row and the column. Okay, so now we want to return the discount value. How do we return the discount value? Okay, so we do this. Now follow me closely on this one. So what we are saying is this. I told you index retains the value. Okay, then the match retains the relative position. So I showed you on how you can be able to use the index formula, whereby you pick the numbers. So we say equals index. First of all, what is our lookup array? Our lookup array is this one here. Don't include the titles, comma. What is our row number? We have to look at this. This is our row number, which is 5. So I'm picking the cell, comma. What is our column number? It's there, 2. Then we close. So we come here and close and press enter. So you see that our discount is 19, because there it's 5, there it's 2, the intersection is there. Okay, so here I can change. Probably I showed you on how to use the drop down, part 2. So part 2 and row 2, the word changes automatically. It also changes here. So you're seeing already that if a client comes and they're telling you that no, I want probably part 2, these are your product IDs. Okay, so for instance, we say, okay, probably I want mountain bicycle. Part 2 is representing my mountain bicycle, so I want a mountain bicycle of version 5, so, or version 6. I click on 6, then the quantity, the one I want, they should be 90. Okay, and I click on 90, then I'll be able to tell them that, okay, your discount for 90 is 22%. That's a discount that you will incur. Okay, so this is how you start to make an application in Excel. All right, so now have you seen how we have done it here? We've used the relative position of that and that. Okay, but now I want to show you how now you can use match function and the index function together in one formula. Okay, so here we have been able to retain this one by using that. So let me just bring it down here. So now here what I'm going to do is just to write the formula index. So what is my lookup array? This is my lookup array. Okay, comma, okay, what is my row number? So for me to find out my row number, which is this one, 6, I have to use the match function. I can use the match function within the index function. Alright, so I say match, what is my lookup value? So my lookup value is this one here, part 6. So I'm looking up that one, comma, what is my lookup array? This is my lookup array. Okay, comma. Now the position which I want, is it going to be exact or less than? So I want it to be exact. Then I close. Okay, so now I found this here. This formula here is representing the formula we had put here on 6. Okay, then comma. Now I'm saying, what is my column? Now my column, again, also I use the formula which I used here, which is the match, okay, match, okay, what is my lookup value? This is my lookup value here, 90, comma, what is my lookup array? This is my lookup array here on top, comma. Now I'm saying, is it going to be exact, a less than, or a greater than? So since when it is above 1 but less than 5, I want it to get 1, so it's the less than. So I use 1, then I close. Okay, so this closes for that one. Now I need a bracket for this one and put another one there, and I press enter. Okay, all right, this is giving us 0.22. Now the thing is that I've formatted this one. If you see, I've formatted it to percentage. This one is not been, it has not been formatted to percentage. That's why it's giving us this one. So this one has to be formatted into a percentage. Where is the percentage here? Okay, all right. So that's how you format it to a percentage. So it changes automatically into a percentage. All right. So this is how you do it. Okay. So check out this one. See where you're not clear. Rewind. Go back. Go through until you're comfortable. All right. There are also answers here, because why I'm doing this, that I'll also give you this to be able to use. Okay. So if I come back to this one, I can be able now to start changing here, and it will automatically change. If I go for 2, it changes. If I go for 1, automatically it changes. Alright? Okay, great. Let's check out this one. So now, okay, let me remove that one. Okay, so now what I want to do is this. I'm going to use the match function and the index function. What I want to do is to what I'm looking at, the product description is this. That this is I'm looking for a boomerang which is of this description, flying range of 20. When I find it, I want to find the name of the product. So I have to first find the relative position in here, then now find the name of the product. Okay? So what I'm going to use now is the same thing, index equals index. So I am going to, first of all, what is my lookup array? So my lookup array is for the product that I want it to bring here. So my lookup array is this one here. This is because I want a product. So my lookup array becomes the array of products, comma. Then the value or the row of the value and everything, I use now the match function. So I want to find the row and the column using the match function. How am I going to do that? I have to type match. My lookup value is this one, comma. My lookup array is this one. Okay. Then I want it to be an exact match, which is 0, and I press enter. Sorry, two brackets. Press enter. So now a flying range, which has a boomerang, or which has got a flying range of 20. I'll find it here, then correspond it. So 20, then corresponding it to this one, then gives me the actual product. So if I come here, I select another, for instance 160 or 120, it gives me the boomerang, which is of 8. Okay. All right. Try out this. See how it goes. Okay. So now I want us to look at another example. Here I want to deal with here I've got a student and their score. So for instance, I want to find out the name of the highest pupil. So there are two ways which you can be able to do this. I'll show you both ways. So first of all, if I want to know the highest marks, I use the max function. Let me do this. I want to find the maximum function, maximum max. I'll say equals max. Okay. Then what I am picking is this array of numbers. So it will look into that array, then pick up the maximum number, of which is that one. So since it has picked up this one, I want to find it that side. So how do I find it? So I'll say equals index, my lookup array. What is my lookup array? This is my lookup array, the name of the student. Okay, comma. I use the match function in order to find the relative position of this one in here. So which is what's that? Match. My lookup value is that one, comma. What is my lookup array? That one, comma. This has to be exact, 0, comma, close bracket. Okay, press enter. It tells me the name of the student. Alright? Okay. The other way you can be able to do this, you can even integrate the max function into the index and the max function into the index and the match function. How do you do this? Okay, let me just do it down here. So I'll say equals, then I say index. I want my lookup array is this one. Okay, then I say comma, then I want to match. What do I want to match? So I say match. What is my lookup value? So my lookup value earlier on, it was this one, but what I will do is that this one I'll replace it with the max formula, which is max. So I have to select the numbers for which I want the max. Okay, then I close. If I selected the numbers, select, okay, then I close, okay, then comma. So now I've selected the lookup array. So now this lookup, or these numbers are for the max formula. Now what is our lookup array? Our lookup array still becomes this one here. Okay, comma, our match should be exact. Then you press enter. See, you have the same results. Okay, so for instance, here you might want to have a minimum. There's a function for a minimum. You can write it. It will be able to change. Okay. All right. So that's how you do this. Okay. So now let us look at number 4. I think the video has gone too long. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me cut this one, then I'll come back so that the video doesn't become too long.